Welcome to 10 Minutes with Tony Scott. We're glad you're tuned into the show today. Today's show is presented by Gentry Academy. Gentry is a high-end private school offering a great education, leadership, and world-class hockey training. Starting this week, Gentry will also be our presenting sponsor of our Now Rankings. Joe Dziedzic from Gentry will join us today and we'll talk about making plays. Before Joe gets here, let's talk some hockey. In just over 2 weeks, we will host our 5th annual YHH Squirtacular at the Schwann Super Rink on the campus of the National Sports Center in Blaine. Our event has been dubbed the unofficial state tournament by a lot of people. We'll take that tag since there's no state tournament for squirts. Here are the top 8 seeds, the remaining 24 in each pool, and schedules will be announced tomorrow or Thursday. In the Squirt Bees, number 1, Osseo Maple Grove Black. Number 2, Matamidi White. Number 3, Chaska-Chan Purple. Number 4, Woodbury Black. Number 5, Osseo Maple Grove White. Number 6, Moorhead Orange. Number 7, Osseo Maple Grove Gold. And number 8, Champlin Park, the only team without a color in our top 8 seeds. In the Squirt A, Osseo Maple Grove, number 1 in the state. Number 2, their good friends Andover. And number 3, Woodbury. Number 4, Stillwater. Number 5, Rosemount. Number 6, Chaska-Chan, who finished runner-up to number 7, Edina White in the Edina Invitational. And number 8, rounding it out, Matamidi. The remaining seeds and schedule will be posted on YHH as soon as tomorrow and as late as Thursday. Once they are announced, we will send out a tweet on our Twitter feed. Follow us at Youth Hockey Hub. Outside the rink, John King and I dropped two fun new articles on our website, Game On Minnesota, this past week. The first is one I authored called The 11 Unwritten Rules for Hockey Parents, an article that was the second most read article on our young new website next to the Hockey Helper helmet video. The article really struck a chord with a lot of people, both in a really, really good way and some in a really bad way. My phone blew up with all kinds of responses. Kinger wrote an article that came out yesterday called The Dallas Dilemma. In his goofy kind of way, he compares the Dallas Stars to an ex-girlfriend. You know, the one you simply can't take your eyes off of. The Stars this year are an incredible team to watch. His article is a fun read. We're hoping to get John back in the studio here for some more fun antics. To check out all of our content, go to GameOnMN.com. This week, we're going to feature a few now prospects, 1 freshman, 1 sophomore, and 2 juniors. First, the freshman, Ryan Hewlin from Hibbing, had 2 shutouts last week for the Blue Jackets. We got to see him a lot last summer in the Bantam Elite League. He's hard to beat. Our sophomore is Sammy Walker from Edina. He had a hat trick Saturday night for the Hornets as they beat White Bear Lake. He's the kind of player that always seems to get his nose in the middle of the action and makes tons of plays. Our 2 juniors are Stillwater standouts, Noah Cates and Luke Manning. They both have 30 points in 12 games for the Ponies this year. This week we're joined by Joe Dziedzic from Gentry Academy. Thank you for joining us today, Joe. Long time no see. I think it was rumored that you had a tent pitched up there at the Schwann Center last week.
I was up there a lot.
You're home away from home, and now you're back there coaching hockey in 2 different capacities. Talk a little bit about that.
Last week I spent a lot of time there with the Schwann tournament with my high school team, and as well I had the privilege to help with the women's national team that was in town for a week up there.
That's pretty cool. We'll talk about that in just a bit. We'll talk a little bit about the school. You guys got 4 new students that started yesterday. One of them we didn't mention on the show with Jen. That was Bryce Lager. Talk a little bit about Bryce's game, what you've seen so far.
Bryce is a great kid. He's a big athletic kid, and I think he's got a lot of raw talent, and I'm looking forward to working with him and improve his hockey skills. I think it'd be a great addition at Gentry. You
had a great session, Shadow Day, in December. You got another one come up in January, on January 20th. Talk a little bit about what a prospective student sees when they come there.
Well, the first thing is they can see what a day is like there. So they get to come on the ice, do our drills, do our training, do some off-ice training with us, and then obviously spend some time in the classroom and just see what it's like to be in an intimate learning environment. And I think once they do that, I think they really get a good fit of if that's something that they can do, and I think they'll like it. So GentryAcademy.com, on the website, there's a place to go in and register. Correct. Yep.
All right, so talk a little bit about what you did up there. You finished second in the Minneapolis, you're the head coach of that team, finished second in the open division of the Schwann Cup. Talk a little bit about your team, what went well, what went wrong, whatever.
We had a good week the first couple of games. We had couple of victories, 4-1, 5-1 over Chisago and over Simley.
Yep.
And then we went up against a good Greenway team.
I love that team, by the way. They're good.
They have some good players. And they beat us 5-3, had an empty net goal. Unfortunately, we lost one of our best players, Jake Hale, to a collarbone injury.
And I don't think that's, I mean, it's a really big deal because he's a big point producer, but I thought your team really competed well after he left the game in the second period.
Yeah, they did, and they tried to rally around that, and unfortunately we came up short, but I like the grit in our team right now. We've got kids that want to play and they compete, and that's all you can ask for as coach.
All right, so you worked with Coach Klee of the U.S. national team last week up in Blaine. Talk a little bit about what you learned. What were some of your takeaways from working with the best women in the world?
Yeah, I really liked their philosophy and just the way they ran the camp. A lot of puck possession, a lot of no dumping the puck. It was about regrouping, passing, moving without the puck. So it was refreshing to see the women, the way they could move and skate and pass the puck. A lot of highly skilled girls out there.
A lot of competing, a lot of making plays. It's forcing them to do that.
That was their main emphasis before the games was just compete, make plays, compete, make plays. If you do that, you're going to have a good chance to make the team.
Well, then I'm sure that, women's, men's, boys, girls, I bet that translates really well over at Gentry.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're trying to do. The question is how do you get confidence to make plays, and you got to train, you got to work on your skills, and that's kind of what we do at Gentry. So
don't give it up. Don't cough it up. Try to learn with it, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Founders Cup that's coming up this weekend. Sure. YHH is presenting up in Hibbing. It should be a great event. Several top teams from Pee Wee AA and Pee Wee Single A. Last year, Founders fans saw some great hockey from Matt Gleason in St. Paul, who won the tournament and eventually went on to win the state. It also featured Class A runner-up Warroad and Grant Slukinski. We saw great teams like Duluth East AA lose in the semifinals, the same team that went on to the state tournament in Woodbury. This year, the event might need a red carpet for all the superstars that we're going to see.
Yeah, Owen Baumgartner from Owatonna, arguably one of the best players in the state. He's one of the three great players from southern Minnesota making the trek north. Wiz Wyatt Player of the Year last year. Tyler Haskins is a kid you can't miss from Rochester. And Brody Lamb from tiny Dodge County is another player you have to see. Great hands, great speed. And Jack Harvey from North Branch, some of the best mitts you'll ever see. Great passer, too. One of my favorites, Joe Miller.
Mine, too.
Yeah, is another top player. Besides high skill and a high-pitched voice, Joe makes everyone around him look better, including his head coach. And how could you forget two Northern boys, Landon Parker from East Grand Forks and Jacob Jeanette from Duluth East. Both are big and talented. We wouldn't be surprised to see any of these win the MVP plaque on Sunday.
No doubt about it. All right, let's do some predictions here. You're a Minneapolis guy, I'm a Minneapolis guy. One of us has to predict Minneapolis' team to win.
Might as well be me.
It's going to be you, Coach, right?
Storm to win this Founders Cup.
And that's not a big reach. It's a team that really hasn't seen their potential yet. It's a team that I think that could make a big, bold statement here this weekend in Hibbing. I like that pick.
And they got a good goalie, too, Axel Reed. Good little goalie.
Very good goaltender. Yeah, good goalie and a superstar. Anything can happen, no doubt about it. I'm going to take Rochester. Rochester's always been one of my favorite teams. This is a great group of kids. It's not just Tyler Haskins. They got a couple good second-year players and a host of first-year players that played for Rochester Red last year on their Squirt A team. I'm going to take them. They're our #1 seed. That's my prediction. I'll probably be writing about it here later in the week, so it should be pretty fun.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we will definitely find out. All right, let's switch gears and do a quick boom roasted. Sure. My boom roasted is to any squirt coach out there who does the deep chirp. And you guys know what the deep chirp is, right? The minute that puck gets near the red line, deep, exactly. And it's nothing more frustrating than not letting kids make plays. Exactly. I want to see kids make plays.
God forbid they regroup and bring it back to the D, swing low, support, but you got to be able to give a kid some room to make plays.
I agree. All right, so that's my boom roasted this week. Let's switch gears and do our game pucks. You got a couple of them to hand out?
Game pucks here. So my game puck goes to Charlie Schoen from Andover Huskies. He's a freshman. He's leading their team in points. And my other game puck goes to Christian Sanda from St. Paul Johnson. He's one of the top scorers on their team and one of the key players with that group. So I'm expecting things from both those players.
Governors, they're playing some good hockey, that's for sure. All right, second week in a row, Schoen makes the show. He is a heck of a hockey player. We mentioned him last week with a bunch of other 4 freshmen that have done well. My game puck goes out to Jack Blatherwick. He writes some great stuff for a competitive journal out there, and wow, the last couple articles he's written about what? Making plays, having fun, making it better, making plays develop and get better. So game puck goes out to Jack. Thanks, Joe, for joining us today on the show. We'll see you around the rink. Good luck to your team this week. Good luck to all the teams in the Founders Cup this weekend. We'll see you around the rink.